Meth versus heroin. Heroin versus meth. Meth versus heroin. Today I have my radio voice. Okay, so today we're talking about heroin versus meth. What's the difference? Why do some people like some of them? Why do people like both of them? There are polysubstance abusers that do both. There are some people who just like to go down. And there's some people that like to go up because heroin is a depressant and meth is a stimulant. Now some people like to use them together. That is called Goofball. That's right. That's the nickname for it. People like to mix them up. So that's basically like you're going fast, and then you just hit the brakes or vice versa. So why do people like to do heroin and why do they get into heroin? Why do people like to do meth? So I think a lot of people just abuse different types of drugs. And when it comes to the development of getting into meth, you know, some people might try stimulants because they like to go faster, such as cocaine, or an addiction starts with Adderall usage where they depend on Adderall as a kid to kind of chill them out. But then when they get bigger, they can't focus enough, so they start still seeking some kind of stimulant, and they get into meth. And there's different forms of meth, obviously. Old school meth, like crank, which people used to snort or shoot, and then there's ice and there's glass, and that's more smokable. So the heroin user can develop a heroin dependency in many different ways. Sometimes it can happen with pills where they just start using some opioids, just painkillers that they somehow get their hands on, whether it's in their parents' medicine cabinet or they're prescribed it, and then they develop a dependency and they just do more and more. And once they run out of their prescription and the doctor won't refill them anymore, they may go out and seek it on the streets. On the West Coast, there's black tar heroin most of the time, and on the East Coast, it's China white. And it's all opioids. People will intravenously shoot it. Some people will smoke it, but it's definitely highly addictive, and it's a depressant, and it makes you nod off a lot. So it's euphoric. Once you put it in you, it's a blissful feeling, and you just want that feeling over and over again. The withdrawals of heroin are intense. They're painful. They're unexplainable. It's a body pain, mind pain. It's mental, physical, spiritual, and emotional downness, like to where you're just excruciatingly painful. It's painful to the point where you need to have some withdrawal. You'll have major withdrawal symptoms, and you'll need to have medication to come off, such as Suboxone or Methadone. A lot of people do those. Will go after the clinics or Suboxone doctors to get those prescribed to them so that they can get off of them. But more often than none, even if a person is withdrawing and using withdrawal pills to get off of heroin, they will end up going right back to heroin because they just don't see their lives in any other way. They don't understand what sobriety is like. Now, when it comes to meth addiction, that's more of a mental high. Not like your body really depends on it, but your brain definitely works in a way you feel like you can't function throughout the course of a day without doing meth. So when somebody is on a meth run, they're always going like 100 miles an hour, and they have to get to where they're going, and there's a lot to get done, and they like to build projects. They're deep thinkers. A paranoia will sometimes occur, or they will have to always be looking over their shoulder because they don't know if somebody's about to jack them or if the cops are out to get them. Like I said, paranoia is definitely something that occurs with a lot of meth use. Amphetamine psychosis is common. It doesn't happen to everybody, but some people do get affected that way. And then when a meth user runs out of meth and they don't have it, the withdrawal symptoms for that aren't as painful or extensively hard on the body as heroin is. You mostly just want to sleep a lot, and your body might hurt a little bit, but not too much, just to the point where your body needs the rest. Because obviously, if you're up for many hours, you become lethargic. You're depleted. You have no nutritional values. You haven't gone to the restroom properly for a while. So you just need to sleep it off. Now, when you mix the two of them, the whole goofballing thing, that's where it just becomes a whole other animal. That's when you're basically a person that doesn't mind putting anything inside your body. You'll do whatever. And if you mix the two, both of them are really hardcore, gnarly drugs. And when you mix them together, you're going to have major withdrawals, and it's never pretty. Okay, so when it comes to a meth or heroin detoxification, the two differ very much. One of them, when it comes to meth, you have to rest. There's going to be a lot of rest that's involved, a lot of sleep, because the person has been up for an extensive amount of hours and days, and their there's no nutrition, they're depleted. So basically, like they haven't eaten properly, they may not have an appetite for a while. When it comes to heroin, the withdrawal is much different than meth. You will have major withdrawal symptoms. If a person just tries to just detox themselves with nothing, they're going to have a lot of excruciatingly painful feelings, both emotional, spiritual, physically, and mentally. Sometimes people want to crawl out of their skin. They need things like Suboxone, which is used in the treatment setting, or Subutex. And there's certain milligrams that they'll start with, and then they'll kind of taper you down. That can take anywhere from 3 to 7 to 10 days. The traditional way of getting somebody off of heroin was people would get on methadone and they'd go to methadone clinics. There's not a lot of places that will prescribe methadone, not in a treatment setting, because that within itself is going to be another detox period to get off of methadone, because it's still addictive within itself. If you'd like to learn more about heroin addiction, click here. If you'd like to learn more about meth addiction, click here.